Good day, poker peeps. This is Sky with Smart Poker Study. And in this video, I'm going to help you go from tight aggressive play to loose aggressive play gradually to ease the transition. So I have an anonymous player within the Poker Forge, one of my students. Let's call her Maya Buttreeks for the rest of this video. Now, she wants to go from tight aggressive to loose aggressive play. And she is currently using my KISS cash game ranges. Now, in the ranges, the widest open raising range is 31% on the button. And that's what this range is right here, 31.2, 414 combos. She wants to transition from this to, this is the range that she created, her button open raising range of 44%, 586 combos. A crazy increase, right, from tight aggressive to loose aggressive. She added so many more. You could see from going from this to this, look at all those suited queens, suited gappers, offsuit 9, better hands, offsuit 8s and stuff. Yeah, a lot of weaker hands in the range. Now, a lot of players are able to make these ranges or such a wide range profitable, and I think Maya has in her what it takes to make this range profitable. But she's so used to this. Switching to this is going to be a huge shock to the system, right? By going from 31 to 44%, she's looking at 172 more hands, a 42% increase to what's already a decently wide button open raising range, right? Now, here's the problem. When you do this just willy-nilly out of nowhere, bam, you add 172 combos, you're going to be playing so many more hands. You're going to be facing a lot more 3-bets. Now, in this exact scenario, you're on the button open raising. Facing a 3-bet, at least you have position, right? So there's plenty of hands that you can defend with and ways that you can exploit them post-flop. But look at all this weak stuff that she added that she's probably just going to be folding versus 3-bets. Now, if her opponents in the blinds are paying attention and they notice she's all of a sudden going from 30% open raising to 45%, they're going to be coming at her with 3-bets, right? So what I highly recommend, and of course, you're going to be seeing more flops with weaker hands. She's going to be seeing more queen 3 suited, jack 5, 9, 6, 10, 8 offsuit on the flop. And if her post-flop skills aren't up to snuff, she's just putting herself in pretty difficult situations. A weaker hand, she is in position, but it's a weaker hand as the pre-flop raiser. If they don't have post-flop weaknesses she can exploit, she's making poker tougher on herself by adding 172 hands. So what I recommended to Maya via email is to just make a small increase of maybe like 6 combinations. Let's take a look right here. If we're going from 31% range, I would recommend, you want to start playing more hands. Great, go slow. Let's add jack 10 offsuit and better. Let's add queen 8 suited, jack 8 suited, 7-5, and 5-4. Just keep it simple. Start off with the best hands that are currently not in your raising range. And you can see now we're at 34%, 454 combos. That's only 40 more hands. It's very doable, less than a 10% increase from 414 to 454. 40 additional hands, right? She can definitely make this new range profitable just like she did the old one. And it's going to give her that gradual practice of facing occasionally more 3-bets, occasionally more calls, seeing the flop with slightly weaker hands than she's currently used to. All right, now just to drive the point home of why a smaller increase in your range would be more beneficial and easier to deal with, let's do some equity comparisons. So we have our 3 ranges, the original 31% open raising range, Maya's 44%, and the adjusted 6 combos extra, 34% range. So if you're open raising 31% and you got a tight caller, maybe with a 12% range that looks like this, your original 31% range has 50% pre-flop equity. That's pretty darn good. Half of the time, over millions of hands, you're just going to naturally win with your range versus their range 50% of the time. Or I guess you could say naturally just chop 50% of the time, right? But what about Maya's 44% range? Well, if she was playing with this against that same calling range, now she drops to 47% equity. Not the end of the world, right? 47% is totally fine to have, especially being in position on the button. But it's just not as good as that 50%. But what if she went with those 6 additional combos at a 34% range? Well, 34% versus that tight range has 49% equity. So it's a slight drop because it's a slightly wider range. We added weaker hands into our range. But look at that, almost the same as before. And now she still has that pretty decent mathematical equity against her opponent's tighter calling range. But what if somebody likes to call wider, like a 30% calling range? Let's switch this here. A lot of your opponents out of the big blind call 30%, call even more, right? But we're just going to use this one for comparison's sake. Let's change this one back to that original button open raising 31% range. Against a wider ranged caller, we have 52% equity, as you can see. Pretty good pre-flop equity. What about Maya's 44% range? Ooh, 49%. Not bad, of course, but not as good as the 52%, right? But what if she used the adjusted 34% range? Well, now we're looking at, hey, 51%. Just another 1% decrease once again. But now she has that, at least it's greater than 50% pre-flop equity versus her opponent's looser ranges with this one. All right, so now some tips for moving from tag to lag play. Of course, if Maya wanted to, she could go with this 44% range. I'm not going to stop her, right? She might be able to make it super profitable, but it's just going to be easier on you to slowly acclimate yourself to loose aggressive play if you're gradually adding hands to your different positional ranges. So make gradual changes, add 2 to 6 combos at a time. And I say 2 to 6 because in the EP, when you're only open raising 12% of the time, maybe, why would you add the full 6 combos? Just add 2 right there. Maybe out of the MP, add 3 combos. In the cutoff, add 4. On the button, add 6 combos, or 8 if you'd like, something like that. Just go gradual, and then more combos by position, or as position gets later. Now, of course, I recommend that you play with the new ranges at 5,000 hands or more just to get some good experience with them, feel how you like them, see how you enjoy playing slightly wider like that. Take the time during the 5,000 hands at the end and at the end to assess the ranges. How well did they work for you? Think about your results. When you added the Queen 10 and the Jack 10 and the Queen 8 and the Jack 8 and the 7-5 and the 5-4, what did those hands do for you? Did you get into some tough spots with those hands? Were you able to exploit your opponents with those hands? Did they win you a lot of money? Did they lose you a little bit, lose a lot? Whatever the case may be, just assess everything, your results, and just think about how you feel about playing these new hands. Maybe you saw the flop 17 times with Queen 10 offsuit from the button, and you just absolutely loved it. You would never not raise this hand again. Great, awesome, you found that out. But what if you had 3 really ugly spots with that Jack 8 suited, and you just didn't know how to approach it? Now, that doesn't mean Jack 8 suited is a terrible hand to play. Maybe you need to do more studies into post-flop play and exploiting opponents with suited 2-gappers. That's totally possible. But maybe you just hate Jack 8 suited and you want to get rid of it. Awesome. Get rid of that and let's just add a suited Queen 7 or maybe the suited 6-4 instead of the Jack 8. Completely up to you, right? But assess your results with individual hands and with the range as a whole. And then like I was just mentioning, add more hands for the next 5,000 hands, or just kind of stick with the same range. Get a feel for it. Play another 5,000 hands. Play 10,000 more hands. See if you really like it, because a lot of players, they try to make that transition from tag to lag play, and they just determine, this really isn't for me. I like the numerical pre-flop equity advantage that my tighter ranges have against all of my looser opponents, and I want to keep that. I don't mind folding pre-flop so often that the tight aggressive ranges make you fold. So those are my recommendations for moving from tag to lag play. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the channel down below and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.